friends! For the upcoming Mid-Autumn Festival, we're going to do a twist on the traditional mooncakes and make piggy mooncakes. These cute cakes have a delicious lotus seed filling and are so much fun to make. For the filling, we will need dry lotus seeds, baking soda, sugar, vanilla sugar, and peanut oil. For the dough, we need all-purpose flour, cake flour, syrup, peanut oil, and an egg yolk. We also need a little bit of all-purpose flour for rolling. The egg wash requires an egg yolk, water, sesame oil, or peanut oil. For the Piggies Eyes, we can use black beans or red beans. Let's start by washing the lotus seeds. Rinse them with cool water several times until the water runs clear. Also remove any discolored seeds or any bits of debris. Place the seeds in a saucepan and add the baking soda. This helps to soften the seeds while they're cooking. Now fill the pot halfway with water. Cover the pot and bring it to a boil over high heat. When it comes to a boil, remove the lid and give it a quick stir. We can scoop off the foam from the top and discard. Now we turn the heat to low and simmer for 25 to 30 minutes or until the seeds are soft. Scoop out the cooked lotus seeds using a large slotted spoon and try not to transfer any of the liquid into the bowl. Let's add the sugar and vanilla sugar. And now let's combine everything together. Using a food processor or blender, we puree the lotus seeds until they're smooth. Now scoop everything out and place it into a small pan. Let's add some peanut oil. We cook this filling over low heat, stirring constantly. Note how soft and spreadable the filling is right now. After 5 to 7 minutes of cooking, the filling dries out and we start to see it pull away from the pan. After another 3 to 4 minutes, the filling starts clumping together. The total cooking time should not be any more than 10 minutes. Once the filling is cool enough to handle, we can roll into balls. Each filling ball should be approximately 1 ounce, and we should be able to make 12 from this recipe. Let's cover it up with plastic wrap until we're ready to use it. To make the dough for the cake, we sift together the all-purpose flour and the cake flour. In a measuring cup, add the syrup, the peanut oil, and the egg yolk. We mix all the ingredients together, making sure it's blended evenly. Make a small well in the flour. Now pour the syrup mixture into the well. Using a fork, we combine the flour with the syrup mixture. We stir the mixture, working the dry flour from the outside into the center. After about a minute, a soft dough forms. We continue mixing for another minute, working in all the dry flour. Gently knead the dough in our hands just a few times. Don't overwork the dough. We will knead it again later. Wrap up the dough with plastic wrap and allow it to rest for 30 minutes. We preheat the oven to 375 degrees. Let's also position the oven rack so it's in the middle of the oven. Line a tray with a non-stick baking mat or parchment paper. Sift the remaining quarter cup of all-purpose flour. We will use this to roll the cakes. Sprinkle some flour on our work surface and then knead the dough gently several times. To keep the dough from drying out, we keep it covered with plastic wrap while making the cakes. And now for the best part, making the cakes. Take a small piece of dough, about half an ounce, and roll it between our hands. Let's sprinkle the work surface with a little bit of flour. Using a small rolling pin, we flatten the dough ball, making a 3-inch circle. Place a filling ball into the center and then flip it over. Work the dough around the filling ball so it's nice and smooth. Gently work the dough around the filling ball, covering it completely, pinching together the ends. Now we roll it between our hands to make a nice smooth ball. Poke just a few holes on the underside of the cake to allow the steam to escape when it's baking. Now we use a small spoon to make indentations for the eyes. We make the piggy's eyes by dropping in the black bean or red bean. Take a small amount of the dough and roll it into an oval shape. This will be the piggy's nose. To make the ears, we take a pea-sized amount of dough and then form it into a triangle. Flatten the ears against the piggy's head. If we leave it sticking up, it will burn when it's in the oven. And finally, we need to add the nostrils using a round toothpick. How cute is that? This recipe makes 12 piggies, but I like to make 6 at a time and then bake them. That way the dough is not sitting around getting dry. If we see any bubbling in the dough, we can prick it with a toothpick. Also, brush off any excess flour. We pop them into the oven and bake for 10 minutes. To make the egg wash, add 1 teaspoon of water and half a teaspoon of sesame oil to the egg yolk. Combine it well, and then strain it using a fine sieve. After removing them from the oven, allow them to cool for 5 minutes and then spritz them with a little bit of water. Gently brush the egg wash on each cake, covering it completely. Increase the oven temperature to 425 degrees. Return the cakes to the oven and bake for another 5 to 6 minutes until they're golden brown. And our piggy mooncakes are done. Perhaps the most frustrating thing about making these mooncakes is we can't eat them right away. We need to store them in an airtight container for at least a day to allow the cakes to soften. During this time, we can admire these adorable piggies. Hi, I hope you've enjoyed this easy how-to video. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to post below. For full recipes, check out runawayrice.com. I work on new recipes each week, so please subscribe to my channel to stay tuned. This is Trang wishing you good eating and good health. Thanks for watching.